Now, back to Silver Moments with Dr. Marsha Baltimore.
Hello, everyone. That beautiful horn, that sax, is Michiel Rubin. He's playing it for you. He has a magic about him, that Michiel Rubin. You can find him on his website, Michiel Rubin. I want you to call in about what I've been talking about, if you're married or if you're thinking about getting married. 1-800-336-2225. Ask me your questions and maybe I can make life smoother for you. You don't want to go into rough waters when you're going to get married. So let's talk about the 7 meanie behaviors and the method of getting to the good behaviors and why you're doing what you're doing. Now, in this same book that I kept repeating about, the Glazer book, William and Carleen Glazer, they wrote it as man and wife. He's the psychiatrist. She's Mrs. Glazer. There's a chapter in it about the mystery of marriage is in our genes, and it's called power. In the chapter, the two Glazers explain animals do not have a need for power. They have a need for survival, but the need for power is unique to human beings, and they do not understand punishing another for disagreeing. They don't talk, that's why. And they don't talk about continuing a marital, except some animals. Some do keep the same mate for life. Lions, I believe, do, and maybe you know of other animals, but they move around. But humans have a driving need for power. And in order to do that, they harm and kill other people who have not harmed and killed anybody they know. And they have been doing that harming since Cain killed Abel. And that is a sad story. So I want to talk to a fellow from Las Vegas. Hey, Sam. Are you there?
Hello, Dr. Baltimore.
Hi, Sam. Thanks for calling. No problem. What's your question?
There are particular aspects of my parents' marriage that I don't particularly care for.
Your parents' marriage?
That is correct.
And how old are your parents?
Well, they're actually in their 70s.
Ooh, and is it the same? They are both your biological parents?
Yes, they are, Dr. Baltimore.
Really? And what don't you like?
My father, you mentioned the whole thing about the cave. Well, my father always repeats that the home is his castle.
Uh-huh. Does he go alone in somewhere? One room of it or something?
He actually incorporates the entire home itself. He only thinks that there's one room in the house where my mother really has kind of ruled of the domain, and that is, of course, the kitchen.
Uh-huh.
And I always felt that was so old-fashioned, if not insulting, but it's something that I've always lived with.
Really? Does he let your mother go into the living room, or does he bar her, or what is this? How does that show itself, manifest?
She does have to tiptoe around.
Really? I don't know. I'm in a little shock about that. How about when he comes in her kitchen? How does she behave to him?
My father doesn't go into the kitchen. That is one area of the house that he does not set foot into. And that's why he always said that was the one area that she always has to herself. But, of course, when she's in the kitchen, she's generally working in some kind of a subservient manner, preparing meals.
Exactly. He likes the servient behavior of her, probably. Let me ask something. Do you have brothers and sisters?
I do have a brother.
Do you have children or grandchildren?
I do not have children.
Does your brother?
He does not either. And, in fact, I hate to say this, but growing up, we always kind of discussed amongst ourselves that we would never want to subject our children to this form of behavior from our parents.
Okay, now let me give you a recommend. I don't know how you're going to like this, and you don't have to like this, and you can say I'm dead wrong, but here's what I would do in that situation. I probably would have thought about it earlier. I would take my father in my mother's kitchen while she's chopping vegetables or preparing meat or whatever, and say to him, I'd like to show you what Mom is doing while we're out there watching the football game or whatever we're doing. I'd like to show you her part of the world and what she puts together for our benefit. I would start it that way. So your father could see what she really does. Without her cooking and setting of the table, etc., you haven't got a home. You have kind of a restaurant, maybe, or you bring the food in from outside or whatever you do. But start with her domain and your father visiting her and see how it comes to him. What does he respond?
I would give that a shot. I will point it out that the difficulty that she has in preparing 3 meals a day.
Yes.
3 meals a day, 365 days a year.
And especially the dinner in the evening. And if your brother is there, your brother and you together can walk in your father and talk about it with him before you do it, so he knows what we're up to here.
I never thought I would use the word, but it is somewhat abusive, this attitude and this demeanor.
It's demeaning. He's making her a servant.
Although it is not physical, it is abusive in nature.
Yeah, by his demeanor toward her. And look what Mom is doing for us, you and your brother say. Mom is making sure we have a lovely meal with all the right ingredients and the varieties of food that we're supposed to have on a daily basis.
Frankly, I wish she was doing it for us, but it's primarily just for my father.
No, but you do this when your brother's there.
Don't when we have a family.
Yeah, don't do it when he's alone with her. He won't do it. But when your brother is with him and you, the three of you walk in your mom's kitchen.
Probably will be Thanksgiving. That'll be the time.
It's perfect. You're perfect. You're right on target.
Well,
and then you could think of questions ahead of time. Mom, what do you have to do to that turkey to get it set up for that? How many times do you have to baste it in the oven?
I don't think he realizes how much effort that it takes to put
exactly.
together.
Do you have gloves, or are you going to burn your inside of your arms with the pan? Could we help you lift the pan? Oh boy, there's a question. He'd never do that, right?
But the one thing my father has done, I hate to say this, but he said it to a certain degree. He set an example of what not to do. He sits there in this chair and he smokes a pipe. And he can do this for hours on end, and I've never really understood it, but it's something that he's done for years.
Are his teeth falling out with the pipe?
He has perfect teeth.
Really? Lucky him.
Yes.
Wouldn't go together, really, but it's lucky. But I would talk to my brother first if I were you. I wouldn't just, walk in there and do it one night. Just talk to your brother and say, should we do this? This crazy lady on the radio suggests.
We'll have to have a family discussion about
Yeah, that's right. First. Exactly.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So there is Mikhail Rubin again with his wonderful horn. Mikhail, MEMEKIEL REUBEN.com.